Humans, the cardboard, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today, I'm taking a look at all of the upcoming products in Yu-Gi-Oh! I like to do these videos every couple of months because stuff comes through, we get the products, we find out stuff we were waiting on, and then a whole new slate of unknowns walk into the forefront. So, here's where we are. We're going to start with the OCG stuff. It's really not a long one today. There's not a ton of products lined up, and we've kind of been seeing that all year. This year, the calendar year of 2024, Konami's been very, very light on products. We can obviously get our core sets, but only one deck build pack instead of two, only one structure deck instead of two, right? And it has been a little bit thinner, and we also haven't had any announcement of like a late year side set as well. But we'll get into that as we do. Let's start off, of course, with our OCG products, because these are the ones where we're actually finding like straight up new cards the most. Some of the TCG ones are more so just keeping an eye on maybe some TCG exclusives and reprints and stuff. All right, so for Supreme Darkness, here's where we're at. 10/26, October 26th is when we're going to see this set drop. It is already September 23rd, so we are almost just a month away here. 34 days, 33 days at this point. And I would say we still have 56 cards left. So we're about to jump into it. We just had a week, an entire week of no reveals for Supreme Darkness, which makes me think 33 days, 56 cards. That's almost 2 cards a day on average. And I think we're going to start jumping into more heavy Supreme Darkness reveals over the next month or so. So there you go. That's really exciting there. Next up, that's basically it, right? For them. 56 cards. Get ready. We're about to jump into the main reveals. Next up, Terminal World 2. This is coming out November 23rd. We're exactly 2 months away from this coming out in the OCG. We have the first 2 archetypes, not only what they are, but we even got their support a week plus ago in Fabled and Jurak. Really cool. Both supports seem solid. I don't know exactly how good the deck's going to be yet, but it's going to be hard to fully know until at least this support comes out in the OCG to see if they actually take to it in any way and if it has any legit, competitive play to it. We'll see. What I will say is, though, we're still waiting on the cover of the set, which should, if it's a similar style cover that the Terminal World 1 had, it will have all 4 archetypes shown there. And what I think they did last time was we got the first 2 themes, which I think was it Ice Barrier and Infernoid, the first 2. And then after the first 2, when they revealed Genex as the 3rd archetype, with the reveal of Genex being the 3rd archetype, they also dropped the cover of the set, which showed artwork for the final archetype, and we either knew it was going to be like Gusto or Ritual Beast based on the artwork of the card. Ended up being Ritual Beast. And so I think they'll probably do something similar here. I think sometime in the first 2 weeks of October, we will probably get the 3rd archetype revealed and the cover, and then we'll wait like almost to the beginning of November probably for the 4th archetype to actually get its support. Like, weirdly enough, they were like weirdly early on Terminal World reveals last year. If they go through that same formula, that's about what I would expect there. So I'm excited. My fingers are crossed for Zephyra and Evil Swarm, but we'll see where they go. Everybody's got their own picks. And then we get to the final set. This is it. Only 3 OCG sets like on the horizon as of right now. We'll talk about one more at the end here. Alliance Insight. This is the core set. It's coming January 25th. I will say it's a little earlier than normal. A lot of times core sets don't come until like at least early February for the first core set of the year. So this one just feels a little bit early. Unless I'm confusing it with like most TCG first sets of the year, but cool. Based on the name, a lot of people are already thinking Duelist Alliance, one of the most banging sets of all time. It's probably on a lot of people's top 5 most impactful core sets in the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! Had a lot of stuff like Teller Knights, Shaddols, just archetypes that really took off, and even some generic cards as well. Some people think it'll share some stuff with that. Odd Eyes on the cover most likely is what people are thinking, but we'll obviously have to wait a little bit until we get closer to those first reveals. Still probably have about them because they're not going to reveal anything for this set until at least after Supreme Darkness comes out. So that's late October. So I would say probably mid-November is when I would expect them to. 2 weeks into November-ish, they'll probably have the drop for the cover. whatever, if it's odd eyes support shown, and then we'll have a couple weeks, and then they'll actually start getting into more reveals. So get ready for that. The only thing that I think is worth mentioning here as well is a December product. Every single year, Konami does like a December product in the OCG. While Sky Striker has been the OCG story's main proponent the last 2 years, the main focus archetype, they've ended up in the December product, I think, like 2 years in a row. So I do expect some. It's usually small. There's usually not a ton of new cards in it, but there's probably something, whether it's like premium pack gets announced somewhat soon, or a lot of times they'll do a premium pack and another like legit December product. And even the December product, there was the year where it was like, we got them all in Magnificent Mavens, but it was like Sky Striker, what's the zombie archetype that starts with an M? I can't even remember what its name is. With the broken trap card that skips turns that people have been using, transaction rollback to abuse. I can't even remember what archetype. And then it was Witchcrafter as the third archetype. It's like a small set like that where it's only like 6 new cards, 2 for each archetype, but I do think Magistus would probably be in there because they're the new OCG Stories main archetype. So we'll keep an eye out for that. Small stuff, but stuff nonetheless to keep an eye out for. Again, we're still 3 months away from Christmas, so they still have some time to announce those things. So that's everything for the OCG that I have my eye on at this point in time. Let's jump into some TCG stuff. Rage of the Abyss. This is probably the most hyped thing right now for me, just because, one, there's a good amount of stuff I'm looking forward to in Rage of the Abyss, and two, I am a big Mimighoul fan. I want to make a more in-depth video on just like what we need to see on the second wave of Mimighoul, but that's another talk for another day. What we are is Rage of the Abyss comes out October 11th. We are legit like 2.5 weeks away from this set dropping in the TCG, and keep in mind, we like to do early openings of the. Konami likes to give early sets, early boxes to content creators to open early. When they do, we'll probably have everything revealed in the set, which gets into some other stuff we'll talk to after the 2 TCG products coming out. But that could be some OCG imports, some TCG exclusives, and of course the Mimighoul, the 6 other Mimighoul cards that we know are coming that we're really hoping are good. So we're only probably, they do that like a week and a half early normally. If this comes out on a Friday, usually like the Wednesday of the week before, we'll usually get something like this opened and hopefully get all those gaps filled in. But I'm very excited to find out what goes on there. Next up, Deck Build Pack Crossover Breakers. This is coming December, I think. Yeah, this is December 6th, first week of December. We're a ways away. We're 2.5 months away from this coming to the TCG still. But I don't think there's much unknown about it. It's just something to keep an eye on. Very impactful set, I think. I think Raziel specifically, and then also Malice, are going to have a chance to be good right out the gate. And then we'll see what happens with the Ritual archetype. But we'll see. But very cool. And then for the unknowns, right? So, interesting stuff. Structure deck, Advent of the Eyes of Blue. Really weird, right? This is a structure deck in the OCG. We still do not have this announced for the TCG, and has some fans worried because, like, this is a cool structure deck. This is Blue Eyes, one of the most popular archetypes in the game. A little weird that we don't even at least have an announcement for when it's coming. So, hopefully it's sooner than later. Hopefully it's still in structure deck form and they don't just get the new cards imported into like a side set, because that tends to make the price go up a little bit, especially if it's something like Blue Eyes. So hopefully we're still getting this structure deck. We just haven't had the announcement yet, so I'm a little nervous. The other thing, Duelist Pack, Duelist of Brilliance. This is another cool pack, right? Trickstars, the ABC stuff I think is cool. The Tachyon cards seem playable. Like, there's some cool stuff here, but we have not gotten it anywhere, which brings me back to the last Duelist Pack they did that did not get its own printing. And that was the Earth Duelist Pack. I can't even remember what it was called, but whatever. The Earth Duelist Pack. Now, what's weird about the Earth Duelist Pack is they actually took the support for all 3 of those archetypes and they imported all 3 of them into different sets. So, the first one was Morphtronic. It was in the core set. It was in Power of the Elements. The first core set in, like, August-ish. So that would have already been, like, that would have been our last set. That would have been Infinite Forbidden, theoretically. Didn't come there. But then the Amazonas new cards got imported into Darkwing Blast in October, late October, which is about where we're getting this new set. Obviously, Rage of the Abyss. So, again, not knowing what the TCG exclusives and OCG imports are, we could get one of the 3 archetypes support in there. Not the worst thing in the world. I do think they'd be cheaper in that set than they would be in their own Duels pack, so I actually don't hate that option compared to a full-on Duels pack, because Duels pack pricing ends up just being crazy because there's only 3 things in the entire set. And then the last one, obviously, is a Shizu, which ended up in Mama, Magnificent Mavens, which was just a TCG exclusive product that came out in November. So unless we get a new TCG exclusive product announced for November, December timeline, I'm kind of sitting here going like, where are these archetypes, where is this support going to be imported? And hopefully we don't have to wait all the way till like a TCG exclusive product in, you know, March of next year. I hope we don't have to wait that long and we get it before then, but obviously we have to wait and see. But that's it. That's basically it for everything coming here. There's really only 3 OCG products, 2 TCG products, and then some unknowns that we're like hoping for, but we'll obviously have to wait and see what Konami decides to do there. So I like keeping you guys up to date. I like staying up to date and being aware of like what's coming and what to keep an eye out for, especially since I like to do news videos and make sure I'm ready when stuff is about to come out. But yeah, there you go. Let me know what you're most excited for. What do you? Let me know also from the unknowns what you are really hoping for, like doesn't get skipped the most, like what you really hope happens. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on that. But I'm out here for today. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I will keep you posted with more news. I do think we're gonna get some Rage of the Abyss stuff this week, and hopefully it's some stuff we like. So I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace.